In the previous video, we saw how to generate a lab schedule using Pebble Geo Plus edition. In this follow-up video, we'll see what to do with the results that come back from the lab based on that schedule. Again, you'll need Pebble Geo Plus edition license to use these features. Let's assume the lab test data has come back from the lab as AGS. Before we import this, let's just check the lab schedule that we sent to the lab in Excel. Note the AGS version required is 4.04, which is the main version supported by Pebble Geo. You'll need to stick to this version of AGS for these features to work. If you have any issues with the data coming back from the lab in terms of the AGS version, make sure to request it in 404. So now we have two files. The original file from the previous video was my in-situ data, in this case in AGS format, but it could also be in Excel format using the Pebble Geo input template. And now we have this second file, lab test data. This is the AGS version 404 file that's come back from the laboratory. So how do we merge these two files together? All we need to do is import them one after the other. So I'm going to import my in-situ data first, and then I'm going to import my lab test data file. When we import two files one after the other, Pebble Geo will prompt to ask if we want to merge the two files. It will also check for a match on the project ID just to confirm that to you, although you can merge any file with any other file in the case that the lab has changed the project ID for some reason. If you don't wish to merge, just click No or click the close cross in the top right of the dialog. But for this demo, let's proceed with the merge and click Yes. Pebble Geo will scan the secondary AGS file and present a list of all the test groups that are present in the secondary file that are not yet in the in-situ file. Use the checkboxes to decide which ones to include in the import, and click Continue with Merge. If Pebble Geo finds no issues with the merge, it will happen instantly and confirm that the merge is complete. In this case, we had no issues. Pebble Geo can deal with issues in the lab test data coming back, and we'll see how to deal with those in the next video. With the merge complete, bear in mind that the merge data is only currently within the Pebble Geo session. If you need to get this back out as an AGS file, let's say to send to a client or main contractor or consultant, go to the main menu and use the Export Convert option. Export out to AGS. Let's follow that through. Continue with export. At this point, Pebble Geo might prompt you about some formatting issues that it found in the dataset. This is just for information, as largely these can be ignored. Pebble Geo will correct them on the way out to the AGS file, or at least harmonize them. It will warn you that it's going to do this, and then prompt you to save out a third AGS file, which is the merged file. Give this a unique name and click Save. Pebble Geo asks if you wish to re-import that data. Let's click No for the moment. And back in our folder, we now have a merged AGS file with both the in-situ and lab test data included within. This should be a valid AGS 4.04 file, and Pebble Geo should have corrected any minor formatting issues. If the file won't validate, or if the client rejects it because it won't go into their system, you should first check with the lab to make sure that there are no issues with the lab test data file.